bus on in Harrisonburg. We have reports confirmed that someone has been hit by a bus in the city. The reports are it's at Bluestone and Carrier Drive. We don't know the extent of the injuries. Law enforcement is on the scene, and we are heading to the scene to get more information about that accident. Again, a person has been hit by a bus in Harrisonburg. We are trying to get more information for you, and we'll bring you that information as soon as it is available. We have an update now on the breaking news we brought you at the top of the show. A person hit by a bus in Harrisonburg. Our Aubrey Urbanowitz is live at the scene. She's going to join us now here shortly with an update on that. Aubrey, are you with us?
I am live at JMU, where the mood is actually fairly somber right now. You can see all the police cars and fire trucks behind me. There is still a bus. We have confirmed that there was some sort of incident between a bus and a pedestrian. You can actually see the bus still parked behind me. Things are taped off. There's police cars everywhere and a lot of students walking around. I was able to talk to a few girls who said they showed up at the scene right after the incident, and they do say that there was a girl who was stuck under the back of the bus. It did look like there was something laying on the ground when I arrived here at the scene. That has not been confirmed. Again, unconfirmed information, but we do believe there was some sort of incident between a JMU bus, a city bus, and a pedestrian right now. The mood very chaotic here right now, and you can see many people aren't exactly panicking. It doesn't look like anyone's injured. They're not rushing around. Everyone's kind of standing around at the scene. So a very somber scene here at JMU in almost a week of tragedy. This is the third incident here at JMU in about a week. We had the death of cheerleader Nick Keats about a week ago, and the death of the JMU assistant provost the end of last week, and now this is the third tragedy, again unconfirmed, but hopefully there will be no more tragedies here at this campus. A very somber time right now at JMU. Reporting live at James Madison University, Aubrey Urbanowitz, WHSV News 3.
Aubrey, thank you for that report, and we will check back with Aubrey and get more details about this story as those details are confirmed to us. Stay with us.
Story this evening out of James Madison University.
Tonight, WHSV now knows the name of the freshman student who was hit and killed by a bus less than 24 hours ago on campus. State police confirmed the victim is 18-year-old Jane Huang, who you see here. Tonight, we first want to break down for you the details on what led to this horrifying incident. Here's a look at the video from the crime scene from last night. The accident happened at the intersection of Bluestone and Carrier Drive around 10 o'clock last night. Authorities tell us a city bus is making a left-hand turn from Bluestone onto Carrier Drive with a green light. That's when Jane, who was wearing dark clothing at the time, walked into the side of the bus and was killed on impact. Tonight we have team coverage on how the JMU student body is coping with this horrible incident.
WHSV's Tim Ronca is live at JMU where this accident happened. Tim.
Bob, Allison, certainly a very sad day here at JMU. I'm actually standing at the intersection where this accident happened. That right there is the intersection of Carrier Drive and Bluestone Drive, where the bus did strike last night. And of course, that's where the tragedy happened. State police confirmed the cause of this accident as inattention by the pedestrian. They say the crosswalk signal said don't walk, and the bus driver had a green light. The driver will not be charged with anything, as there were other factors involved as well.
It's dark clothing, it was raining at the time, there was also other vehicles in the area causing with headlight glare. There were a lot of other factors that came into play, but it was mainly the inattention of the pedestrian.
And police say a cell phone was actually found nearby. It may have caused a distraction. However, police do not want to confirm or deny whether that was actually a part of this accident or not. Coming up at 6, hear more from JMU officials and police about what happened here today, or last night. Live at JMU, Tim Ronca, WHSV News 3.
Thank you, Tim. WHSV's Jennifer Jacobs continues our team coverage this evening.
Jennifer, I know you spent the day talking with students. Tell us a little bit about what they are doing to get through this.
Yes, Allison. Just as Tim mentioned, the students have been out all day. It's been a sad day at JMU. What they did last night around 1 a.m. is they all gathered through text messaging and Facebook. They found out. They came out and made a candlelight vigil just outside of Godwin Hall. And right now and all throughout the day, there's been flowers, candles. They've dropped off notes, but it's definitely been a sad day on campus.
I mean, for this to be the third Duke this year that we've lost, I feel like it's just a huge loss to the entire JMU community. I feel like we look at each other as brothers and sisters in this community because we are so tight-knit. So anytime there's a loss of anyone, especially a young lady like this being in her first year here at JMU, it's really hard, I feel like, on everybody.
So for tonight, as we're looking forward, we do have a candlelight vigil at the Convocation Center here on the JMU campus. It starts at 9:30 and goes until 10:30. Live in Harrisonburg, Jennifer Jacobs, WHSV News 3.
And tonight, several of you are offering your condolences to the JMU student body on our Facebook page. Kimberly shares with us, "It's my mother who is a driver. Our sorrow goes out to Jane, her family, and her friends. This is so sad because of the death. My mother loves her job as a bus driver, and that's all she looks forward to is driving that bus. But she also loves JMU. It's so sad, and she is not doing well at all. She is grieving the loss of this beautiful young girl, as well as Jane's loved ones are as well." Amber shares with us, "My prayers go out to the family and friends of both the driver and victim." Julie shares with us, "May God be with her family and friends during this tragic time." And you could share your thoughts and condolences with us tonight on our Facebook page. Just search for WHSV. Now, with this being the fourth death in the campus body within just the last month, the campus body at JMU has created a Facebook page in honor of that. They are calling it Forever All Together One. This is a live look at that group Facebook page. Now, on the page, they have event details of the campus body gathering tonight at 9:30 to reflect back on the life of those who have recently died at JMU. Again, that memorial will get underway tonight at 9:30 at the Convocation Center.
A community in mourning again rises up tonight to lean on each other for support. Good evening, everyone. I'm Val Thompson. Tonight, the JMU community is remembering Jane Huang, a freshman student who died last night when she was hit by a bus on campus. She was from Fairfax. Police say the bus had a green light and was turning left when the bus driver hit Huang. Huang was wearing dark clothing, and state police say it appears she didn't see the bus coming. Huang's death has rocked the JMU community, and they came out by the thousands to honor her and mourn together. That's where News 3's Karen Campbell joins us, where a huge group of people came out to pay their respects. Karen, what's the mood like on campus tonight?
Well, Val, the mood here tonight is that of sadness, also mixed with a little bit of happiness. Behind me at the Convocation Center, students have started to come out of that center where a vigil was held to pay their respects to not only the 18-year-old student, Jane Huang, who lost her life tragically yesterday, but also the other students and staff member who died this past semester. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that clear or even hear, but there are some students gathered outside. They're playing music. They're sort of rejoicing. They're trying to keep the memories of those who have died alive. Now, inside the Convocation Center, hundreds, if not thousands of people packed that room. They started out with a moment of silence. They held up these blue glow sticks, as I said, in a moment of silence. Now, they also showed up Facebook images or Facebook messages on a large screen with messages that read, you know, rest in peace, we'll miss you. There was also lots of singing, trumpets played, again, to honor all of those people who have died this past semester.
Yeah, I feel like she really left a huge part of her at JMU community, even to those who haven't known her for that long.
In presentations the other day, she just seemed real relaxed, living every day. I mean, really like it's her last, but she was just real down to earth. She didn't let anything stress her, and she was a model student, really.
Now, Dr. Linwood Rose took to the podium toward the end of this vigil, and he addressed the crowd saying, you know, he didn't have a chance to know Jane. He wished he would have had that chance to actually give her her diploma when she graduated, but now that's not going to happen. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, this vigil was to honor those who have died. We cannot forget the other 3 students that died, including the vice provost that had passed away. Now, another gentleman took to the podium, and he said, he recommended to the students, you know, we depend on social media so much these days, and he said, you know, you're never promised tomorrow, so make sure that you reach out to your friends and family, make that phone call, send a letter, just tell the person that you care about, tell them that you love them. You know, never let a day go by that you don't express how you feel about that person, because, again, you're never promised tomorrow. Here on the campus of James Madison University, I'm Karen Campbell, WHSV News 3.
Thank you, Karen, for that report. As she mentioned, other students have died this month at JMU. Less than 2 weeks ago, another JMU student, Nick Keats, died in his room. Keats was a cheerleader. It's still unclear what caused his death, but a search warrant from Harrisonburg police says Keats had illegal drugs in his room the night he died. Keats died on November 5th, and police are waiting for autopsy results. But police say the night that Keats died, they smelled burnt marijuana in his room and tobacco and cigar remnants. The search warrant also says a plastic bag with a white pasty substance was found near a window. And the officer says Keats was on the ground with vomit coming out of his mouth when they responded. Keats' roommate called 911 to get medical help for him. And Keats' death prompted an outpouring of support at JMU as well. A memorial service held there just last week for him. Pictures and stories were shared there as well. He was remembered as an inspirational leader on the cheerleading team and someone that always was optimistic in the life of the party. Now, JMU students are also expressing their mourning with this memorial to Jane near the spot where she died. JMU spokesperson Don Agel says it's been a very difficult month, but the students are showing strength.
I've been here 5 years and I've not seen this much in this short amount of time. When situations like this happen, the students they respond in an amazing way. And we saw that last night, we've seen it in past events, and we're seeing that again today. And so I think that the students pulling that together speaks well of this university.
And JMU President Linwood Rose is calling for compassion. You saw him speaking at that vigil tonight. He also wrote a letter to faculty and staff today saying that they should follow the students' example. He wrote, "We should first reach out to those most immediately touched by the departure of a loved one and offer our support in coping with the loss. We should look for those in need and we should lend a hand. There's no best way to do this. Just make the effort your own way. It will be appreciated." And several of you are showing that support by posting condolences on our web channel and on our Facebook page. Linda Miller writes, "I'm so sorry for the family that lost a daughter." And Diana Stoltz says, "My prayers go out to her family and friends. Also prayers to the bus driver and her family as they too are suffering from this tragedy."
In the wake of the recent death at JMU with the student being hit by a bus while crossing the street, some are raising concerns about pedestrian safety. News 3's Lisa Pappas picks up the story at JMU. And Lisa, I understand you've seen quite a few students taking some risks.
Just from being out here for about a half an hour earlier today, I saw at least 20 students running across Main Street without using these crosswalks over here. Now, Harrisonburg Police and Rockingham County Sheriff's Office say they don't have any jaywalking ordinances in the city or the surrounding county, but authorities say you should still try to use these crosswalks at major intersections like this. Some students say, on the other hand, that they just don't have enough time to come down here to use them.
I believe it's much more convenient for students to do that because they don't really think about walking all the way down to the stoplight, and they'd rather just cross the street at that time.
For many JMU students, it's all about convenience when crossing the street to make it to and from class.
There is a tunnel like a couple feet away. I don't know why we don't use it. And a lot of the music education, I'm a music education major, so a lot of the music education staff watch us and they send us emails, reminders like, hey, don't use the street, it's not safe.
Sergeant Felicia Glick with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office says it's safety that students should be most concerned about. Glick says not only should you try to use crosswalks, you should also put your phone or iPod away while crossing the street.
A big part of that is not necessarily the act of it muting the sounds surrounding you, but getting your mind engaged in that conversation or that song or whatever, and that's the distracting part of it, walking as well as driving.
Harrisonburg police say 8 pedestrians were hit by cars in the city this year alone, and they say that type of thing can be avoided if pedestrians use crosswalks like this and if they're not distracted. But students say they just don't have enough time to come down here to cross this street here instead of in the middle of Main Street where they can cut directly onto campus. But many of them are saying ever since a student died this week in the street, they will try to be a little bit more careful. Live in Harrisonburg, Lisa Pappas, WHSV News 3.